Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm going to follow up on a recent video I made, but it is, I think it's 8:28 p.m., 8:21 p.m., something like that, and it's Thursday. But before I get into it, please hit the thumbs up. Remember to like, because we have, not only do we have cyber trolls, but we have stalker neighbors who are on the prowl. That's right, folks. So I was out in my field cutting that hot mess that the criminals planted. It's going to take me a lot longer than I anticipated, but I did a pretty good job right now. I ended up running out of some string, so I've got to go back. But while I'm working there, at 7 p.m., my neighbor from down the road pulls up in her black car, gets out, and she says, "Do you know who I am?" I looked at her for a minute. I said, "Yep, you're Scarlett Marks." She says, "I don't want you talking about my kids." I said, "What am I saying about your kids?" I said, "What names were I using?" Because I don't actually know the names of her kids. So she said, "You said Bub." I said, "Isn't that a derogatory pet name or whatever?" She said, "No, that's his name." Well, I know that that's not his name. It's just something that they call him. But this is the teenager, I think he's a teenager, who stuck his middle finger up at me while I was at my mailbox last year. I did nothing to provoke it. I was retrieving my mail. He pulls his window down and sticks his middle finger up at me, with his father driving the vehicle. Well, if my daughter were doing that, I would have slapped her silly. I probably would have stopped the car. I would have had her apologize. Although I have to say my daughter would never do anything like that. So obviously it was okay for him to display that behavior to somebody that he really doesn't know, who literally is old enough to be his grandmother. So that kind of behavior appears to be okay for Scarlett. It's not okay for me. So anyway, this predator, this stalker, pulls up on the county road and begins harassing me while I'm working. She gets out of her car, starts threatening me. I did not have my phone with me. I was sweating to death, working my ass off for the last hour and a half. But she says, "Oh, I hear you're non-confrontational." She says, "Come over here." I said, "Scarlett, first of all, you're not worth my time. But you really don't know who you're dealing with," I said. "And I'm in the middle of working here. And she really doesn't know who she's dealing with. I might be 20 years older than you, Scarlett. But you have no idea how strong I am. And you don't want to try it out. I can assure you. And it doesn't matter that I'm 20 years older than you. And I'm not going to say it here on YouTube. But you don't know who you're dealing with here, Scarlett. And just remember the cease and desist letter that you and your husband received. For all the nasty little text messages you make, threatening workers on my property, just like the neighbor. Your buddy friends. Oh, and remember on Mother's Day, Scarlett, when you and your buddy friends, the one who fell in the ditch and ended up in the detention center, remember when you were parked on the county road, having a conversation and then screamed obscenities to me as you were driving by, that I have recorded on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you can go look for it. So the next time you threaten me, Scarlett, it will be the last time. Okay? So go mind your business, go do some work, go do something positive to change the community. And by telling me that I should go back to where I came from. Well, I won't be going back to where I came from, Scarlett. I'm here 4 years now. Get over it. In fact, I probably take care of my property better than you do with all those people you have helping you. That's because you're too busy stalking and harassing me. And your community would grow if you grew. Your community would be better off with people like me moving here to better this small, faltering town. And yet it's faltering. The county roads are a mess. A lot of things are a mess around here. Oh, and by the way, Scarlett, folks, she's the one that I banned from my Facebook because she was leaving obnoxious and defamatory comments that were not true. See, this is the thing. We're going to educate people here. I am a truther. Telling the truth seems to be a criminal act these days, but I am a truther. Everything I say is true. So, Miss Scarlett, if you don't like what I say on my channel, move on. Move on, little girl. Because I'm going to keep talking. And if you're going to keep harassing me, I'm going to keep speaking out about you. Just the way I did with the neighbor, and she ended up on A&E, on Neighborhood Wars, for the whole world to see. Her ridiculous behaviors. You don't know who you're dealing with. So move on, little girl. The next time I find you stalking me, you will be recorded and posted online, and I will have no problem reporting you. And just remember, it's not defamation if it's true. And I speak the truth, and you know it. And if you don't like it, too bad. Move on, little girl. Move on. In fact, it might be a good idea to discipline your children about how to behave in front of senior citizens and how to behave towards senior citizens. And if you don't like me, too bad. I don't like you either, which is why I want nothing to do with you. So go away, little girl. Anyway, for my lovely subscribers who I adore, I apologize for not uploading some really good stuff. I really want to educate you guys on chickens and guinea hens and stuff. Because I know some of you guys want to move to a more rural area, not necessarily rural like where I am, but you know, where you have a yard and maybe can have some farm animals and some chickens and stuff. But I'm still learning about them, and literally the first year that I had chickens was, you know, a big learning experience. One of the local people gave me this a hen that I absolutely loved. I named her Snow White because she was white. And she really was not healthy when I got here. She was skinny, not healthy. So I fed her, but nobody told me that she was a meat bird. I did not even know what a meat bird was because I don't eat meat and I don't eat meat birds. And I loved her, and she was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then somebody told me, that's a meat bird, you're supposed to kill her. And it's like, I can't kill her. Like, I love that hen. And it turns out she ended up dying. She was very big. She could hardly walk. And I think what was happening is she got egg bound. And that's something else that I learned about chickens, is that sometimes it's sort of like, you know, humans get constipated, right? They can't go to the bathroom. Well, hens lay eggs. And not only are they laying eggs, but they're getting raped by roosters, you know, while they're through this process. So sometimes an egg will get stuck inside of them. And you have to give them like a nice warm bath. But you don't know until you don't see the eggs when they typically lay an egg, and they start looking a little lethargic. They look a little peaked, you know, the way you look a little peaked if you have a cold. And that's when you got to take out your basin and soak them in, warm water for about 15 minutes. And it really does help. But yeah, so that's something that I learned the first year that I had chickens is somebody gave me a meat chicken. And she grew crazy, but I didn't know. And I loved her. She was the sweetest thing. Like I would call her and she would come running towards me and she would waddle, She was a chubby little hen. And she would waddle, and it was unfortunate she died. So I want to do a video at some point when I have more time about chickens and guineas. There's huge difference. Like I said, guineas, they're like the unruly teenagers. Chickens can be trained. Chickens are really cool. They go into the coop every night around the same time. Not those creatures. Not them. Not them. I have to chase them in sometimes because they want to roam around until 10 o'clock at night. All the hens and the roosters, they're already in. They're ready to go to bed. They're on the roost, but not these guys. They're still roaming around. I can't get a break with them. And then after they go in, there's always those last two that are like, nah, we want to stay out a little bit longer. Can't we just stay out another 15 minutes? So that's what they do, folks. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. I did receive a phone call from a fellow targeted person. I apologize. I'm not able to speak during the day most of the time, especially today. Today I was extremely busy after having been at DMV yesterday for half of the day. So I probably won't be able to speak to people maybe until, the weekend. So I hope everybody had a great day. Leave comments down below on any thoughts that you have. I know Fire Up Your Heart, Children of God, she has some chickens. I noticed I was watching some videos about her chickens and she's got some turkeys. I don't know that much about turkeys, but I know people that have them. And some people just have like one. They like to have that one turkey, with a pretty tail. And they're just, very cool. Like they'll walk around the property with the others. And every once in a while, like I'll see wild turkeys in the field, like usually in the fall. Not now. I haven't seen wild turkeys in a long time. But anyway, so this is what it looks like here this time of the day. We've got a rooster eating bugs. We've got my porch chickens. They hang out on the porch. I'm pretty convinced they hang out on the porch because it's cool. Well, it's obviously cooler here. The sun is not here. The way the sun turns around here, like I don't get the sun there, where they get the sun flat all over their chicken coop all day long when the sun comes out. So it gets really hot by their coop, but they hang out on the porch here. They also know that I'm frequently walking in and out with food. And sometimes they stay by the front door. Like I think they feel the air conditioning coming from the front door. But see, here are the guineas. They're eating bugs. This is a little coffee clutch right here. Let me expand it a little bit. Here they are. Right? Say hi, guys. Yeah? Say hi. Yeah, they're nice and quiet now. You guys remember when I first got them and they were yelling all the time? They were a big bunch of birds. But that's the way they were when they were children. But now as adults, they're not as noisy as they were when they were little. But here they are. They're going in and out of the coop now. They're eating bugs. This is what they do. You want to say hi? See, this is what they look like up close. They're kind of funny looking people. They've got a horn on the top of their head. The hatchery calls it a helmet. I just call it an antenna. They look like antennas to me. Look. Is that not an antenna? right? It's an antenna. Shake it, shake it, shake it. You want to say hi? Anybody want to cackle? No, no cackling. So anyway, and here are the chickens, guys. This is what the chickens are doing. I created these two, I'm going to say, flower beds. And I started putting their mulch in here and some sands and stuff so that they can kick around in it. And that's exactly what they're doing, making a huge mess here. Right, guys? You making a mess? Don't stop because of me. Don't stop what you were doing. And let's see, we'll see the youngsters over here. These are the youngsters. Right, they're like a couple of months old. And here's the rooster. Right, Trey? That's Trey Gowdy, guys. Don't you love that name? That's Trey Gowdy. That's Trey. And I don't have names for the chickies yet because, you know, I've been naming these birds when they're young, and then they turn out to be roosters. And I made a big mistake, like with Tina Turner. With the help of you guys, I named Tina Turner. And Tina turned out to be a rooster. So I still named him Tina because he responds to Tina. And somebody said, oh, well, rename him Tony. It's like, but he responds to Tina. Tina's his name. He doesn't know if he's a boy or a girl, or that's a boy or a girl name. So yeah, I'm keeping the name Tina for my rooster. So that's it, folks. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up here, and I have to feed the cats. I put some food up there for them because the guineas were going to eat the cat food, and now I've got to feed the rest of the cats. So I hope everybody's doing well. This is Henry. Henry, you want to say hi? You say hi? Say hi. I'm a rooster. I'm a big rooster. I'm huge. Right? Say hi. There you go. Okay, I hope everybody's having a good night. Signing off for now.